What up? I got Naskin here with me. This ain't a diss song, but yeah, you know what it is. I'm a cheesehead, y'all niggas cheese whiz. Pittsburgh Steelers, that's nothing. That Super Bowl ring, that's nothing. Pull up in your town when you see me, you know everything. Green and yellow, green and yellow, green and yellow, green and yellow. I put it down, representing for my team. I'm in green.
How's Darnell look the last couple days?
I thought he looked good today, so we'll see how it goes.
If you could get him back with his speed, obviously the Chiefs have Tyreek Hill. I'm sure he'd be a big asset in a game like this one, just because maybe you could match up a little bit there.
Yeah, no, you can't replace that speed, but also, I mean, they have more than just Tyreek Hill. They got Sammy Watkins, McCole Hardman, Travis Kelce. There's a lot of speed on that field. There will be a lot of speed on that field on Sunday night.
How much do you stress blocking by your perimeter guys? I was watching MVS's touchdown as part of your mic'd up thing this morning, and Aaron Jones is at midfield blocking on that one.
Yeah, no, it was such a heads-up play by Aaron Jones. They brought a all-out zero blitz at us, and he was running the go route, and he turned back to look for the ball and saw that Marquez had the ball in his hand, and it was a great effort play by Aaron Jones. But that's something that wherever I've been a part of, that we've always stressed the importance of blocking, not just naturally the guys up front, but really everybody that doesn't have the ball in their hand. And we even tell the quarterback his blocking responsibility is carrying out his fakes. So that's just part of doing your 111th.
Matt, what about pass protection with your backs? I mean, I don't know what you thought of these guys as protectors and let's pick up guys coming in, but obviously it seems like they're doing well. What did you think of Jamal and Aaron in that, and what have they done in that regard?
Yeah, I think really, and Danny too. I think all three have done a great job. I think one of the big things in terms of running backs is are they willing? And they're all willing. They're fearless. They stick their face in there, and they use pretty good techniques. So I think Ben Sermons does a outstanding job with all three of those guys, and those guys are receptive to it, and they've done a great job.
Matt, Bill mentioned the mic'd up video. Do you enjoy that? Do you get a little self-conscious about it? What did you kind of think?
Yeah, I don't even like watching it. It makes me cringe. So I haven't really seen much of it, to be honest with you.
So I mentioned this to you earlier in the week, and if I get grief about it, I really don't care. Your relationship with the quarterback was such a huge focus for all of us, and for you. It was important for you for you to have that relationship. Is that just another fun? I know Spoon did a story about how you don't mind when you guys argue on the sideline. Is that a glimpse? Do you think that's an accurate glimpse of kind of where you guys are at, that clip that we watched?
Well, I don't know exactly what clip you're talking about.
So where he says he wants 5, you tell him he wants 6, and then he comes and punches you on his way back after he scores.
No. I mean, we were having fun and have a lot of confidence in him, and I just think that was, something that I want to see him. Obviously, I want to see all our players have a ton of success, but I had a feeling it was going to be a really good day for him, and to his credit, he went out there and did it, and the other guys helped him out along the way.
You had 1,000 things I'm sure you wanted to accomplish when you took the job. Was that one of the items on your list, was getting to a good place with him, given how important that relationship is?
Yeah, I've said it a bunch. I think with any time you're talking about the play caller and the quarterback, I think the relationship's absolutely critical just for the entire offense to go out and do the best they can, because that's ultimately what we're here to do, is go out and put your best foot forward each and every day, get a little bit better each and every day, and put a good product out there. And all we ever ask of anybody is to be at their best, and whatever that level is, that's the expectation. And we're lucky that we have a really good quarterback that his level's pretty damn high. So no, it was a normal in-game moment, I think, and But that's something that the relationship just doesn't stop after, it's an ongoing process each and every day.
So speaking of guys being at their best, when you look at Jimmy, he's had some really good games for you, and then obviously he had a couple games where he was a non-factor. What's the key into making sure that there's more consistency? Is that on him? Is it on you? Is it on Aaron? Is it on everybody?
Yeah, I think it's really everybody, I think I love Jimmy's approach. I think he's a pro. I know I've said this a bunch of times too. He is hard on himself. So I think the key is you can never get too high and never too low. If you make a mistake, you gotta learn from it and move on. Nobody's out there trying to make mistakes, especially if you're talking about a guy dropping a ball. That happens sometimes. But I'm more interested in how you respond to that. We talk about it all the time. You can't blink. You got to move on. It's next play because that's how he can perform at his best is when whether it's good or bad, just move on to the next play.
If you went back to his first 2 years on film, there wasn't a lot to go on with Aaron Jones as a receiver. What did you see in him? He just didn't do it a lot prior to this year. What did you see in him that made you think that he had that ability to become the receiver out of the backfield that he's become for you?
I think it's just taken time for us to learn our guys a little bit. It's helped that Ben Sermons was here in the past, and Aaron has always spoke highly of him in terms of his ability to catch the football. But, it's something that we see in practice each and every day, and as we see more of it, you feel more comfortable asking him to do maybe more and more in that role.
Did that surprise you at first, given that he didn't do it much in the past?
I didn't come in with a ton of preconceived notions. It was more or less trying to put these guys in position. We've always kind of liked to use running backs within the passing game, and as we installed our system, you just it happens kind of naturally, and you find out if guys are capable of doing what you're trying to get done. And he's shown a great job. He's done a great job with that.
Matt, what's your level of concern with the kick return game? And do you feel that teams are going to keep making you return the ball until you do something with it?
Yeah, it's a big concern, especially when if you don't produce to the results that you'd like. We definitely have to block better, and then we just have got to be decisive as to when we're taking it out. But I would guess that people are going to continue to make us earn it and are probably going to kick it short.
Matt, did you get what you wanted? I know you haven't watched the film of it yet, but did you get what you wanted tempo-wise and work-wise today after the approach you took yesterday?
Yeah, I think so. I thought the guys came locked in, ready to go. I felt like they were fresh. They were excited. Certainly, from an offensive perspective, we know what type of environment we're going into. It's going to be loud, so we cranked the crowd noise, had a couple of those third down periods, and then defensively it looked good. I got to go back and watch the tape, but it looked like guys were flying around.
Matt, how much does it vary from week to week, depending on your schedule, of what your goal is for reps in terms of being down there and practicing? Does it vary a lot, or do you have a number that you'd like to hit every week?
Yeah, our schedule in terms of the reps when we have a normal Thursday stays pretty consistent throughout the year, especially Thursdays. The times you dial back would be your Wednesdays potentially, depending on your health, depending on if it's a short week. But typically Thursdays stay pretty consistent, as well as Fridays.
And you're going to use every padded rep that you were allowed? Padded practice, so you're going to use all, was it 14 of them?
Yeah, we'll use everyone.
Is it just a matter of, with Wednesdays and Thursdays, just the pads? Is that the only difference, or is there other things that go into Wednesdays and make it easier to dial back on that day?
I just think a lot of it has to do with the health of our football team, but Thursdays is the day that we put on the shoulder pads. So Wednesdays, naturally, as the week goes along, you'd think guys get healthier and healthier, and feel less sore, and so that if there is a day to dial back, from my past experiences, it's always been Wednesdays, and just making it an above the neck day, a lot of walkthrough. You actually get, when we practice like how we did yesterday, we actually get more reps in So that I think that's beneficial too for the guys. Although they're not full speed, you're making sure that they're on top of their assignments.
Did practicing with all that Arrowhead noise that you guys filtered in today go fairly smoothly?
Yeah, I thought it was a good productive practice.
Now, what's realistic with Tanyan when, he has the great play in Dallas, and then he has the injury, and he misses a couple games? Do you have to kind of ramp him back up if you want to get him more involved, or do you think a young guy like that can pick up where he left off?
I think it all is totally dependent upon where he is health-wise. We got a lot of confidence in him as a player in terms of being able to go in there and handle a good portion of it, but it's going to come down to where he's at. If he's fully healed, then we'll let him go. But if he's not quite 100%, then we'll probably be a little bit, we'll hold him back a little bit.
More, please.
What are the hallmarks of their coordinator, Spagnuolo's defense? What does he like to do?
He gives you a lot of exotic looks and brings a lot of pressure. So those guys play extremely hard. I think he does a good job of mixing up coverage. He'll give you some different looks up front, and they are an aggressive unit.
Matt, how are you preparing for their quarterback situation? I mean, you look a lot at both guys, or how do you put together your plan for, but if there's uncertainty there perhaps?
Sure, I think anytime there's uncertainty, you have to have a plan for both, and that's just the way you got to go about it. And not that it's going to change all that much in terms of what they're doing from an offensive perspective. I think usually you go in with a game plan, and certainly there's some things that they would do with Patrick that they might not do with Matt. But I think from a defensive perspective, you definitely have to be prepared for either guy.
Matt, just going back real quick to the return game, are you thinking about trying something different on kickoff returns, or are you kind of thinking status quo?
I think we're always trying to find ways to do things better. That's our job as coaches, so we'll always tinker with things until we get it to where we want it to be.
Oh yeah. Young Moolah, baby.